Hello, this is Dan, Now Man Nicewander, and the morning message now is about the booklet, the CPI booklet of Do You Believe in Growth? And there's a lot I can say about that booklet that's really very, very important. I think everyone that is in the Center for Political Innovation should definitely read that book. And it is online. If you don't have a copy of it yourself, then you can order that from Amazon, unlike Kamala Harris's book. But I want to talk about solutions because Caleb and the organization and the members are very good about talking about history, but we also need to go into more details about solutions. And the booklet does talk about the Uhuru movement. It talks about how they're prepared for what's coming down the road, as Caleb has referred to as strategic equilibrium, which means our voices are going to be heard more and more. And maybe it's already happening because there's just so much stuff going on, right? So, but the Uhuru movement already has a community plan. Now, some people I know, they are talking about, getting a piece of land away from the city. Some people have already done that here in California, and they live, out towards Joshua Tree. It's kind of a building, little community village out there, whatever you want to call it. It's usually rich people who can afford to buy land, and they go out there, and it's quite a ways away from civilization. But from what I understand, they still get supplies. I don't know exactly how that happens, but and there's intentional communities, which is kind of the same kind of idea, but you buy a piece of property. There's maybe up to 10 people that can live on it, and you can have a garden and farming and just your own schooling for kids or whatever it is. But it's usually just like 10 people on a piece of land, and it's usually also in a rural area. You're usually not going to think of that as being in a city limit. But there's also the reality, like the Uhuru movement realized, that you are going to be in the city. So here, there's an eco village in Los Angeles. I know Caliacuno down in Mississippi has Jackson Rising, and they stay in the city itself, and they create farmers markets, community centers, and community gardens, and educational classes of different kinds to educate themselves about issues important to the community and people living in the community. And these kinds of things are important because not everybody's going to want to go out into rural areas of the countryside. So we have to have a plan for everywhere that we are as a solution, and to be ready when the time comes to basically do our own thing. And this is requiring some planning. And this is what even people that I'm connecting to here in the Los Angeles area have been working on. And there is the idea of the worker-owned cooperative. Now, I'm at the Pasadena Convention Center right now, and there's some conference going on right now called Employee Owner Company Meeting. Now, a worker-owned cooperative does fit in somehow, but we also have to understand, though, that the system is going to need to change because the system that's in place incorporates employers and employees, and that's part of the problem when it gets so big that, most of the profits go to a very small group of people. It's not democratic, and it just needs different terminology, a different structure to where there is abundance for everyone. Because that's why the book Do You Believe in Growth is important, because growth doesn't need to be limited just so a handful of people can stay on top with most of the wealth and resources. So we have to be wise in how we go forward. And that's one of the many reasons why the Center for Political Innovation is so important, because we have to continue building community as we educate each other about these ideas and focus on top priorities as much as possible, and realize that the workers do have a say just like anyone else, and maybe be an owner and have one person, one vote in a worker-owned cooperative. That's fine. But we also do need a government that actually works for the people and not just a small group of people at the top. And there's so much going on in the world right now, as we all see on a weekly basis, and certain things will continue to unfold. We'll start learning more and more why things have happened the way they have up to this point. And it's important to stay on top of it, history, current events and all that, but also to build community, do outreach, connect with strangers, find common ground, talk about these ideas, give people a copy of that booklet or link them to the website so they can find the download there. Get the information out so people can start, talking with each other, coming up with ideas and inspirations. And I'll end this morning message with, this is the Pasadena Civic Auditorium here in Pasadena. And it's the home of multiple seasons of a very popular television show called America's Got Talent. Now, I don't really want to promote that show, even though I was on season 15, episode 1, right before the COVID lockdown. I was on that stage, and it got broadcasted Memorial Day weekend and the 4th of July weekend. The reason why I want to bring that up is because I was able to give a message to the world about what was going on at that time without actually using certain words, like COVID or pandemic. And it's all about bringing people together. And I'll play it for you right now. This is Dan Nowman Nicewander. In addition to that, always stay present in the moment now.
And why America's Got Talent?
I believe that it's a critical time in our history right now to bring people together, and I think what better way to do it than with music?
All right, Mr. Nowman.